Have you ever scrolled through Instagram and suddenly found yourself staring at someone you know living a lifestyle that makes no sense? You know the one I'm talking about. A person taking luxury vacations twice a year, wearing designer clothes, eating out every weekend, and somehow always upgrading their phone to the latest model. And here's the thing that really gets me. The person doing all this
Hmm.
probably makes the same amount of money as you do. So, what's going on here? How are regular people somehow affording these extravagant lifestyles that seem to defy basic mathematics? My name is Denial, and I spend way too much time thinking about money and why people make the financial decisions they do. If you've ever wondered how your coworker can afford to post luxury vacations while complaining about rent prices, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps explain this modern mystery. Now, before we dive into the mechanics of how people are pulling this off, let me paint you a picture of what we're actually dealing with here. The average credit card balance has reached levels that would have been considered absolutely insane just a decade ago. We're talking about balances that exceed what many people used to pay for rent, and yet somehow millions of people are signing up for more credit every single month, swiping for purchases that cost
Hmm.
more than their paychecks. But
Hmm.
here's where it gets really interesting. Most of these people aren't secretly rich. They're not influencers pulling in millions or trust fund kids with unlimited cards. They're teachers, office employees, nurses, retail workers, regular folks with regular jobs who somehow found a way to make the numbers look like they work. Or at least they think they did. The truth is, there's a whole system designed to make these impossible lifestyles seem possible, and understanding how that system works isn't just about curiosity, it's about protecting yourself from making a decision that could derail your financial future for the next 7 to 10 years. Let's start with the most obvious question. How much are we actually talking about here? Because when I tell people the average person's lifestyle expenses, they usually assume I'm exaggerating. The average American spends over $400 a month eating out, another $300 on subscriptions and shopping, and nearly $1,000 on rent or housing. And that's before we even get to credit card payments. But it gets worse when you start looking at luxury purchases, the phones, clothes, vacations, and cars that define status. These payments routinely exceed $800 or more every single month,
Hmm.
and it's not uncommon to see people spending $1,200 just to keep up appearances.
Hmm.
$1,200 every single month for clothes, dinners, and gadgets. We're talking about spending more than $14,000 a year on things that lose value instantly. Now, you might be thinking, well, Denial, maybe people are just making a lot more money these days. Maybe wages have gone up enough to support this kind of lifestyle. And if that's what you're thinking, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's not what's happening at all. Income has increased slightly, sure, but nowhere near enough to justify this level of spending using traditional financial wisdom. So, how are people doing it? The answer lies in a combination of factors that have fundamentally changed how people approach money. And none of these factors are necessarily good news for the people swiping those cards. First, let's talk about credit. Remember when buying something meant saving up for it first? Those days are gone. Now, we have credit lines, easy approval cards, and buy now, pay later apps like Klarna and Afterpay. These systems make spending money you don't have feel painless until the bills start stacking up. Then there's lifestyle leasing, the idea that you can rent everything from your phone to your furniture. It makes your monthly payments look smaller while quietly locking you into long-term debt. The math looks manageable, but the total cost is astronomical. And of course, the biggest factor of all, social media psychology. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have convinced us that appearance is everything. You're not buying products anymore, you're buying identity, validation, and the illusion of success. This emotional manipulation makes it much easier for people to justify spending that would otherwise seem completely irrational. When you're not just buying a bag, but buying into a lifestyle, suddenly that $900 payment feels like an investment in yourself instead of a mistake. But let's get practical. Even with easy credit and emotional justification, $700 to $1,200 a month is still a lot of money for most households. That's where things get creative and dangerous. People are reshaping their entire financial lives around their image. They'll skip saving, delay bills, or move into smaller spaces just to afford the lifestyle that looks good online. Some are even taking personal loans to pay off cards, only to max those cards again. Others dip into retirement accounts to keep up appearances. It's a cycle. The faster you run, the further behind you get. And here's the scary part. This lifestyle has become completely normalized. People who would never dream of wasting $1,200 a month on anything else somehow convince themselves it's fine if it buys them validation. The next time you see someone posting their luxury life, remember they're probably financing it with stress, debt, and sleepless nights. And maybe, just maybe, that simple, debt-free lifestyle you're living isn't so bad after all.